I'm moving forward fast, no storm in the forecast, sly as a fox, I'm never caught in a trap. No blue check on my Instagram, so I need more cash. I got a standing ovation, you only got 4 claps. What's up everyone, Jack Dawkins here, and today I'm going to talk about freestyle rapping, which is something that I've been practicing almost every day for the last year or so, and actually is how I got into making music altogether. Freestyling is allowing your brain to just go for a walk, which is something we don't get to do that often in everyday life. But I love it, and I want to be helpful to people who are trying to get into it. I know there are tons of videos out there for beginners and for experts and etc., but I felt like there were a few things people weren't talking about that I'm going to try to bring to light today. Specifically, if you've ever tried to freestyle, there is a moment. And that moment is when you are freight training into the end of one of your bars and you don't know what you're going to say next. And I think terrifying would be an appropriate word for that, because particularly if you have momentum or if you're feeling really good, you want to keep going. You want to find the next thing to say, but you're just drawing blanks. I have a couple of tips and tricks to help you push through that barrier that I'm going to share with you today. You ready? Let's dive in. So the first thing I'm going to talk about is a technique called word switch. All you're going to do is you're going to take either the last word, not word singular, that wouldn't work, the last couple of words from your final bar, and you're going to flip them to start the next bar. And whatever word you landed on is no longer going to be the last word, which means you're finding a new rhyme chain. And sometimes it's jumping onto that new rhyme train that helps get your thoughts going. You're basically cheating your way into an internal. If I said something like, my last album had no skips, there's no fast forward. The words I'm going to focus on are fast and forward. Now I'm going to say, I go forward fast. I've switched them and now I'm going forward fast. So the sounds I'm going to listen to forward and blah, 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 blah. Forward and fast because I've switched them. So what immediately comes into my head is forecast. Maybe what it sounds like is no skips on my last album, no fast forward. I move forward fast, no storm in the forecast. I'm trying to get going so I can get more cash, whatever. And that switch is what allows you to kind of jump the train onto that new track, and it buys you that time exactly where you need it, which is at the end of that first bar to get going into your second bar. The second one we're gonna talk about is called an oronym, which I know sounds weird and intimidating, but I promise you is actually not that big of a deal. An oronym is a version of a homonym. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, a homonym is a word that sounds exactly the same, but has a different meaning. So I'm breaking my back when I move back. So one is my body part, one is the direction. An oronym is like a homonym where you're chopping up syllables in different ways. One of my favorite ones to use is the word depending. So the word depending would mean like conditionally. I don't know if I should go left or right. That's depending. I study a lot of Socrates' books. I like a deep ending. I have a girl waiting in my bed. She's got a deep ending. I stay steady swimming. I like to be deep ending. So in that way, I've taken depending and I've broken it up in different ways. And as a result, I can create different bars based on where I go. So the beauty of this, again, it doesn't sound very impressive if you just rhyme the same word or a homonym back to back. You know, I'm out here busting my back, you'll never see me moving back. It's functional, it works, in a pinch you can do it, but it's not gonna get anyone's attention. An oronym, on the other hand, it comes from the same part of your brain because you're looking at the same word and just thinking about how you can accent the syllables differently. Like another one that I really like that came out of a class I took was the word kingdom. I'm in charge, looking over the whole kingdom. I'm tired of these rules, our leadership sucks, that king dumb. Grammatical nerds aside, it's the same word, but the way it sounds and the way it presents within the bar is completely different than just saying the same word twice and slightly changing the meaning. Now, the last one I'm going to talk about is a little more complicated, but I still think it's really valuable, and it's one that I get stuck in a lot. So if I come to the end of the bar and I have a multi-syllable, or the last 2 or 3 syllables, that's always what I want to try and rhyme on the next bar. Because multi-syllables sound fancy, they make you look good. good. At the same time, they are much, much harder because you're now trying to find either two words or a word that have two matching sounds rather than one. When I get to the end of a bar and I find, like, when the wheel starts spinning of like, what am I gonna say, what am I gonna say, what am I say? One of the easiest off ramps for me is lopping off the first syllable or two and just focusing on the very last one. Would it be better if you could get a perfect that's a tough word. Multi-syllable rhyme? For sure. Again, it sounds impressive. It's usually more creative and more unique to your style. As you get further and further away from single syllable endings, that's where your creativity, that's where your individuality starts to shine. The goal is to keep going. If you're getting to the end of the bar and you're like, shit, what am I gonna do with that one? Lop off the early syllables and drop back into a single syllable rhyme, which you can probably string for at least 2 or 3 bars. And then when you're ready, or when you find it in your mind, you can bring it back, which can almost be more effective. It's like in stand-up comedy when someone tells a joke early in a set and then ties it back by the end. So let's say, moving forward fast, no storm in the forecast, and I can't think of an or ast rhyme to come next. I'm gonna drop it and I'm gonna go to cast, which could be last, which could be mast, which could be cash, which could be trap, which could be task. Now I can line some of those up. Sly as a fox, never caught in a trap. No blue check on my Instagram, so I need more cash. But now, because I've had those bars to think, I can go back, and so what did I say? There was forecast, more cash, 4 claps. I like 4 claps, so let's do something with that. I'm moving forward fast, no storm in the forecast, sly as a fox, I'm never caught in a trap. No blue check on my Instagram, so I need more cash. I got a standing ovation, you only got 4 claps. So now I was able to bring back that original or asked rhyme chain and put it a couple of bars later, which if anything is gonna help people see like, oh shit, he was holding onto that bar for a while. But to get there, I had to drop off those early syllables and wait until I had it ready and then bring it back and hit it with a harder punchline. So those are my 3 little tricks. I know that doesn't cover everything, but I love freestyling, and if you wanna try it, if you're interested, please let me know what questions you have, what things you wish you could learn more about. And by all means, like, you should definitely go check out a lot of the other channels. There's Smart Rapper, there's How to Rap Drew, there's Cole My Studios. There's a bunch of folks out there making great content, and I just want to contribute a little bit if I can. If you enjoyed this video, do me a huge favor, please like and subscribe. And again, if you have questions, if you're working on freestyling, let me know how it's going in the comments, and I will talk to you soon. Peace. Let's go.